We are going to look at your purpose. That is your why, your vision. That is your what, mission. That is your how, your premise. What do you believe? And then what is the product? So purpose. Our purpose in this office is to help families live healthier lives. Now, there's more to it than that. So it says ... right? So our purpose in this office is to literally help families live healthier lives. Well, I said families. Somebody else might say kids. Somebody else might say sports or athletes and stuff like that, right? So you have to figure out what is the one thing that's going to give me passion and joy, the thing that I want to do the most, that's going to help as many people as possible, but that I'm also going to be fulfilled. What does that look like? What does that avatar, as Seth said the last time we got together, right? So what is your purpose? Well, in my office, it's pretty clear. We have a staff meeting every Tuesday, and at that staff meeting, we will read one of those 5 things. We'll read purpose, mission, vision, premise, and product. And then we'll actually talk about that at the staff meeting. And then sometimes we'll even have examples of that, right? And so I'm going to give you a couple of examples as I go through this. But our purpose literally is to help families live healthier lives, right? Now, the vision is, again, this is what you see. This is the what statement of our vision is to be a world-class chiropractic wellness office, right? And when we put these words down, we didn't arbitrarily put these words down. We literally talked about it and refined it and got it honed in on the exact words that we wanted to use. Because do you guys want to be an average chiropractic office? No, you want to be a world-class chiropractic office. I remember at a seminar one time, and the speaker said, you definitely don't want to be average. You don't want to be mediocre, because once you lick the lollipop of mediocrity, you suck forever, right? So we do not want to be average. We do not want to be mediocre. We want to be world-class when it comes to chiropractic. So obviously there's certain things that you need to do to be world-class. Come on in. Hi. Hello, hello. Grab a cocktail. So what does it look like? What do you need to do to be world-class? Yes. Then your mission is how you're going to live out that to accomplish that purpose and to see your vision come to fruition. So our mission in our office is to educate and adjust as many families as possible towards optimal health through natural chiropractic care. That literally comes right from C.J. Mertz. So I didn't come up with my own at that time. Honestly, when I first started practice, I didn't even know what I was doing. Like and you talk about struggles. I mean, how many of you started out and knew right away exactly how to run an office? I did not. I came out of chiropractic college. I worked for somebody else for 3.5 years while my wife went to Syracuse University, but he ran the office. So even when I came out here and started this office, I had no idea what I was doing. And if it wasn't for just some people just speaking into my life and saying, listen, you need to come to this seminar and you need to join this group, because they can teach you, they can coach you, and they can show you how to do all these things. So when I read this the first time and I said, you know, that sounds pretty good, I'm just going to steal that one, right? Which is what I did, right? I said, because, I mean, we didn't really steal it. He gave it to us, right? Our mission is to educate and adjust as many families as possible towards optimal health through natural chiropractic care. I thought to myself, what does that really mean to me? That deep down in my heart and my soul, what does that mean to me? So if I'm going to, in fact, have this wonderful world-class office, and I'm going to have people staying because I think chiropractic does its best work over time. I think people are healthier when they stay under practice for years, not visits, right? For years. Then we need to be doing 2 things. We need to educate them and adjust them. Right? So if I'm educating and adjusting, I know that my community they'll stay under care longer and they'll be healthier as a result of that. What is BJ's famous quote around give away the adjustment for free and charge for the education? I probably butchered that, but you guys have heard that before, right? So he basically said, charge for the education, give the adjustment away for free. What was he saying there? He was literally saying that if you teach them, they'll stay. If you adjust them, as soon as they either feel better or don't feel better, they're going to move on, right? That's exactly what he was saying there. So we want to educate and adjust as many families as possible. That is our mission. So now how are we going to do that? That's the attraction portion of it, right? So how are we going to get them to come in? How are we going to get them to start care? And then how are we going to get them to stay under care so that, again, they're healthier for their entire lives? And then we're going to go to our premise. Premise, again, I like this because it's a proposition supporting or helping to support a conclusion. So I'm going to give you a proposition, and then you're going to tell me the answer to this. All swans are white. Susan is a swan. What can you deduct from that? Susan is white, right? So if we take those two statements, then Susan must be white. If all swans are white and Susan's a swan, Susan must be white. We can deduct that from that. That's the reasoning behind it. In chiropractic, the body is self-healing and self-regulating. The nervous system controls and coordinates the function of the body. Subluxations interfere with the nervous system, and adjustments reduce subluxations and restore nervous system function. That's basically the premises behind chiropractic, right? That's what the foundation of chiropractic is built upon. So if that's what it's built upon, then your premise, or my premise, is that we believe that the families getting adjusted are healthier and safer than those that are not getting adjusted. Right? They're healthier and safer, not just healthier, but also safer. Because if you're getting adjusted and you're healthier, you're using less medications. You're not going to the emergency room as often. You're having fewer surgeries, right? So you're not only healthier, but you're literally safer. You're saving lives. Stephen Francis says, chiropractors are in the business of saving lives. And when business is good, everybody wins. So let me say that again. Chiropractic is in the business of saving lives. And when business is good, everybody wins. Does that make sense, you guys? Right? So we need to focus on having a great business so that we can save more lives. And when I see this one, I often think of different patients that literally have, that you've changed their life, right? And I always think of this young boy, his name was Danny. We were at a spinal screening. We met him at the YMCA. His dad comes up and tells us about his son, Danny. Danny's 7 years old. Danny has cyclical vomiting syndrome. He's failure to thrive, low muscle tone. The diagnoses were all over the place on this kid, right? He's 7 years old. By the time he's 7 years old, he'd already spent over 500 days in a hospital. So a year and a half. He's over a year and a half. He's already been in the hospital in the first 7 years of his life. They would go in. Sometimes they'd go to the emergency room. They would just give him an IV and he'd send him home. But of those, he spent 250 times he was admitted, sometimes for a day, sometimes for a week, usually 2 or 3 days, right? And then he's out. So he's 7 years old when we meet. I started adjusting him. As soon as I started adjusting him, he stops throwing up. He starts hiking Mount Wachusett. That year, he gets Most Advanced Student Award. They remove all the labels from him. He's no longer sick. He's gaining weight. He's focusing in school. He gets Best Student Award. And today, I actually adjusted him on Wednesday or Thursday. He was in, with his girlfriend. And he started here when he was 7 years old. He's now graduated college. I think chiropractic does its best work over time, and it literally has the ability to save lives. Right? So that's what I mean by that. And then finally, what is your product? Again, is your product the adjustment? If you do therapies, is it therapies? Do you sell supplements? What is your product in chiropractic? So what would you say it is in your office? Does anybody want to throw out a guess on what your product is?
Adjustment.
So that's what everybody says. That's what all chiropractors say.
But I sell supplements.
So that you have that. But I'm going to challenge you to say it's neither of those things. If you're a philosophically strong chiropractor, your product is Lifetime Family Wellness. Because if you're selling supplements and you're selling adjustments and you're selling therapies, again, they're coming in for those services. They're not coming in for Lifetime Family Wellness. Your product needs to be Lifetime Family Wellness if you truly believe the premises that we just went through, right? And that you save lives when they're under care longer. Right? Because then you're going to start to get the fact that it is Lifetime Family Wellness that is your product, not any specific service that you provide, right? So, and how do you know that you have a family practice? Well, you guys know. You've seen people for years and decades, right? These are not people that showed up. And we all have those that show up and they're just there for the adjustments to help them feel better, right? You guys, am I the only one that has people that just want a few adjustments? Okay. So no, we all have those people that literally will, as soon as they feel better, they're going to disappear. They were going to anyhow, right? But what do we need to do to make sure that we're giving them the best chance of understanding chiropractic so that they stay for years and decades, right?